So this is my BPC-157 story. I've been taking BPC-157 for just over a year. I posted my first video back in July of 2024. We're in August now, and I've been meaning to make this video for a while, but things come up and kept me from doing it. And I've also been trying to figure out how to do this. And so I wanted to tell you the story from the beginning, which is something that just blows my mind. I've never told a story correctly. It's always backwards. Anyway, and as usual, the usual disclaimer here of that this is my experience. It's not medical advice. BPC-157 is not FDA approved. So if you're using it, it's kind of at your own risk. So keep that in mind. Now, where this all starts is about 2021, 2022, I forget exactly. We had a sprinting workout, and oddly enough, I think it was in August, and I was running fast enough doing the sprints. There were 200-meter sprints, and then we did some other stuff, and then another 200-meter sprints, like 4 rounds of that. I ran fast enough that fast runners commented that I was running fast. And well, I paid the price for it. Over the next couple of weeks, my knee swelled up to the size of a cantaloupe. It was big enough that I had other people then commenting that, wow, what's wrong with your knee? Why is it so swollen? And being your typical guy, I did nothing about it for about 6 months. My wife was like, why don't you go see a doctor about that? Because I was limping. Still working out the whole time, of course, you know. Anyway, finally got around, went to the doctor. They x-rayed it, and they looked at the x-ray, and they said, well, we can't see anything in the x-ray. So they referred me off to an MRI, which I'm going to mention something. If you go have your MRI, if you go have your knee MRI'd, get both knees done at the same time. You're in there, it's not going to take any longer. And if you've blown up one knee, the opportunity for the other knee to be blown up too is pretty good. I don't think my other knee is that bad, but it would be nice to know, right? Anyway, back to the story, keeping things in chronological order. So they referred me off to an orthopedic surgeon. He took a look at it and said, yeah, your meniscus looks like it's the victim of a shark attack. Said that I was a candidate for knee replacement surgery, and we discussed treatment options, and we decided to do gel injections, which there are several choices. The one I'm using is hyaluronic acid, I think. I'm not sure of the name, but it's 3 shots. The other one, there's another one that's like 4, and then there's one that's 6. I'm using the one that's just 3 shots. They don't hurt. At least they don't hurt me. It feels like somebody's blowing up a balloon inside your knee. You just feel pressure. He hoses me down with something that freezes my knee, and you don't feel anything. Anyway, so we did that, and I also spent a lot of time doing research into, okay, what do I do about this? The meniscus, by and large, doesn't heal very well. It can heal, but it's not great. So it's a chronic condition, basically. But I spent a lot of time looking at Squat University, and I think Bob and Brad have a channel on YouTube as well. And basically from them, I figured out a physical therapy regimen that I go through. A lot of lunges, heel taps, do a lot of mobility work. You work on you don't just work on your knee, hips and ankles as well. I still do a lot of back squats and other stuff to strengthen my legs so that I have the muscle to protect my knee and keep things from getting worse. So something that I really want to emphasize is I don't just use BPC-157 on my knee. I'm doing a lot of physical therapy. I work out a lot to be strong. I'm trying to lose weight, which is an adventure all on its own. And we use the gel injection. The second, so that lasted a year. In the research I did on the gel injection, some people do it as frequently as like 6 weeks. For me, as far as I can tell, it lasts about a year. So got through that first year, went back, did it again, and me and the doctor talked about doing platelet-rich plasma, PRP. So what the heck, I'd read about it. The research on PRP is kind of inconclusive, and worse, it's not covered by your insurance. So you're paying this out of pocket. It was $800, and it didn't set me back except for the money, but I don't think it really did much to help heal my meniscus. And it was around this time that the Huberman Lab podcast, where he talked about peptides, came out, and they talked about BPC-157 and TB500. And as they described them, I was like, holy shit, this stuff sounds amazing. So started digging in, read the papers that they referred to, and read other stuff, got on Reddit and saw people talking about it and what they experienced. And I really didn't see anybody talk about, I did not hear anything bad about BPC-157. Again, want to call out, all of this is anecdotal data. There's animal research, which qualifies as clinical, but anything you read on Reddit or you see some dorky redneck on YouTube talking about it, that's anecdotal. You know, talk to a doctor, okay, before you do any of this silly stuff. Anyway, I read up and everything looked good. Didn't read about somebody, jabbing themselves and all of a sudden, breaking out in cancers or some crap like that. Biggest thing I saw really was you have to really pay attention to the compounding pharmacy that you get your BPC-157 from. Anyway, following Huberman's very good advice, I found a clinic local to me that specializes in peptides. I've been asked, and I'm not sponsored by them, but to help you out, it's the Cell Spa. They're in Trophy Club, Texas. They'll do video visits with you. That's what I did. Talked with the doctor and explained what I had going on. And I brought up TB500, which I've not used TB500. And he said, it's for what I'm dealing with, it's not going to help. Said, like, when I do, it was really funny because he's like, but when you do stem cells, then we'll use TB500. TB500 will come up, and you'll see it when you start shopping around for BPC-157. You'll see pharmacies will compound the two together. All I'm talking about is BPC-157 all by itself. Everything I say, I've never used TB500. I'm not opposed to it. It sounds like also a wonderful peptide. Anyway, got my first batch. Now here's the thing. The idea that I am injecting myself with something blows my mind. It's just a little tiny insulin needle, but even so, you're sticking a needle in your body and you're injecting something into yourself. So I got the stuff that they sent me. It was already reconstituted. All I had to do was draw off my shot, and I started off shooting in my abdomen. And it probably took, my dogs are right around the tripod and they're starting to play. So I'm hoping they don't knock it over. We'll see what happens. Anyway, it took me 15 minutes to do that first shot. And what's really funny is I watch, me being me, I watch a bunch of YouTube videos of other people doing their injections, and everybody darts the needle in. What I do, and my friend, I have a friend, he's a nurse, and I told him what I do, and he's like, you're a psychopath. I put the needle against my skin, and then I press it in. I can't dart it. My brain just will not let me do it. So anyway, finally did it, got it in, and it was amazing. What was really funny, and this is one of the things that with BPC, I really wonder how much is placebo effect. because I swear I felt something right away. It was that night. You know, I was like, huh. One of my experiences has been sleep. When I'm in, like, I'll do a shot tonight. I will sleep better tonight than I do normally. Now, I have good sleep usually anyway, but when I'm using the BPC, I sleep even better. Um, and no complaints on that. I did initially, the way I was doing it was I was doing 20 units um, in the morning and then 20 units in the evening. That gave me a headache. I dropped down to 15 and 15, and then I dropped to just 20 once a day. And then now I do 20 units every other day. So Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I'll inject myself. I've started injecting to the side of my knee, but here's the thing. Side injection doesn't matter. You can, if you could, there are people who've shoulder injuries who use BPC and they'll shoot it there. It doesn't matter. The needle you're using, you're injecting into your subcutaneous tissue. It's going to get distributed throughout your body regardless. It just happens that shooting in my knee is really easy, which again kind of blows my mind that I'm able to do that. But really and truly, those insulin, if you have a good insulin needle, it feels like just a scratch. It really, just do it and you'll see what I mean. It's no big deal. And then, so through this, I've been pretty steadily every other thing. And honestly, my knee feels so good. I have skipped injections, and it's not purposeful. It's just I forget because everything's great. My back squat, I hit a PR of 385 back in April. I think I'm on track to hit 405 this year, which will be pretty cool. I've started doing box jumps. I have to be careful with, but overall, stuff is great. And then in July, when we did my gel injection again, they x-rayed and he said he didn't see any progress. He didn't see, meaning no progress in terms of there's no additional deterioration. The meniscus isn't any worse. He can see, he could see in the past where the osteoarthritis was starting, and that hasn't gotten any worse. So between the physical therapy, weight loss, and using peptides and the gel injection, all of this together is helping me kick the can down the road so that we hopefully will skip doing a knee replacement. And I'm starting to see things on Facebook about new stem cell therapies, of course, where they are basically able to create a matrix that in your knee that allows the cartilage to regrow and completely heal. So, that's what I'm after. That's the whole point behind me going through and doing all of this stuff. What should you do? That's up to you. I don't suggest relying just on the peptide. There's more to it than that. I don't run because I have the running form of a epileptic puppy. So until I will actually, to me, it doesn't really matter. Running's not a big deal to me. But if I wanted to start running, I'd get a coach and actually work with them to correct and learn to run properly, which is a really funny thing for a grown man to have to say, but here we are. Anyway, so that's it. Sources for BPC-157. So I very much recommend you find a medical practice that's doing peptides, that's their specialty, and start with whatever they give you. It'll cost more than what you see online, but start there, because you want to make sure that you're getting a really good quality source. It's not something to mess with. You're injecting stuff in your body. I have used other sources now. I've gotten kind of adventuresome. I am not risk adverse. Hurry up and finish up. Okay, sure, honey. Anyway, Peptide Research is one place I've gotten it from. Very good. And right now I'm using Liberty Peptides. They're not sponsoring me, like as if I get paid to do these videos, as my wife is sitting there going, you're really dragging this out. But hey, this is my story. And if you actually made it this far, what is wrong with you? You obviously had nothing better to do than listen to me natter on about this. Anyway, so that's it. You know, talk to a doctor and, you know, get over shooting yourself and learn, you know, spend the time, learn how to do the physical therapy for whatever injury you're dealing with. Last detail. This is not FDA approved. If you're in the military, you can get a dishonorable discharge for using this shit. Don't do it. If you're a collegiate athlete, you can get banned from your sport for using these peptides. Don't do it. If you're a CrossFit athlete and you're a competitor, as in you want to go to the CrossFit Games, do not do this stuff. You will get banned, and you don't need that. You can use the other stuff. Anyway, that's it. I'll quit. Have a good day. Give me a like and a subscribe if you actually made it this far. If you have questions, put them in the comments, and you have a good one. That good, honey? You want me to stop this? Okay.